Well, hello friends, how are you doing today? I have to tell you, I am very excited. Today's Wednesday, and it marks the first day that we are actually finished teaching summer intensives. Now, if you're not teaching in South Korea, or maybe not teaching ESL abroad, you may not know what intensives are, but they're really akin to summer school back in the United States. So for a couple of weeks in the summer and in the winter, while the children are on summer vacation or winter vacation, they take an intense period of classes. Now these classes can run the gamut from grammar to speaking to reading, really any kind of subject. And just like normal students, sometimes they want the extra education and sometimes they do not. Now, I had the fortune of talking with my manager about what to do this intensive. You see, I've taught the same intensive course for the past 2 iterations, last summer and in the winter. And while it's a good class, the one thing I really felt that was lacking was that a number of the older students, the grade 5 students, the grade 6 students, weren't taking the speaking components. They were taking the grammar. And while they do need that extra emphasis on that area of education, the problem was that twice a year we have a speaking contest at school. And they really weren't doing that well. Sure, they could speak well, but the contest involves answering questions on the fly and giving presentations. And unfortunately, a lot of times when the students were giving presentations, they would write out their speech and read it like this. It didn't translate well to an oral presentation, or worse yet, they would actually do a PowerPoint presentation and then turn their back to the audience and just read what's on the screen. It was awful. So I proposed teaching a special speech presentation class in conjunction with the normal speaking class. And I gotta say, it went better than I thought it would. Now, I only had a few students this time because it was brand new and a lot of students really weren't sure if this was the class for them. But it was great. I took these 6 students who, during the first task, were to give a 2-minute presentation about themselves. And by the end, they could do 2.5-minute presentations. They went from speaking very softly to speaking very loudly with confidence. They went from looking at a piece of paper to being able to look at their audience with great eye contact and going back and forth from their notes and speaking. They went from just ending a presentation to taking the time to ask if there are any questions. They went from just sitting idly by to being able to ask poignant questions about someone else's presentation. It was a phenomenal experience. And to make matters even more, rewarding for myself, is that one of the other native teachers came up to me and said, this is what your student is doing in my class. And I was really shocked. I'm very pleased with these students because a lot of times, probably the hardest thing to do in any educational environment is to get up in front of your peers and give a speech. Giving a speech in a foreign language, not your mother's tongue, but a foreign language, one that you're learning, can be nerve-wracking. Now, I've said it many times, these kids have a mastery of English that far surpasses my mastery of any of the foreign languages that I speak. And I give them a lot of credit because they work hard. And to have them come to this level of expertise in just 2 weeks, I really appreciate their dedication. And I'm looking forward to January's winter intensives where you can do a little bit more and have a little bit more time and hopefully a broader base to have this class. So I just wanted to share that with you. What I'd like to know is that if you've ever taken summer school or some kind of intensive 2-week program as an add-on to your normal academic regime, what kind of class was it? What did you find that was beneficial? And what did you find that really wasn't? The reason why I'm asking is that I'd like to make some changes as I move on to preparing for the winter class And, you know, I think y'all are pretty good at knowing what works for a variety of learning types, and I could always use the extra input. Until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.